Hi guys to everyone, it's Sada from Poisoned Rock, and of course I'm happy to start the month, let's say this cycle of these springs, kind of like that, with an amazing soul, Gustav, maybe better known as Astralseid, or just seen, in the soil of Midgard's or in the folk music. But anyway, hi Gustav, it's really a pleasure to have you here.
Hey, it's a real pleasure to be here. Finally.
Yes, because every time that I have the chance to speak with soul, pure like you, it's like a releasing, a recharging of energy and positivity. Of course, Gustav, you are well known to have right now there will be this, in August, the 14th of August, if I'm right, a full release of all your, let's say, it's 4 albums, so throughout your musical journey. So it's going to be released digitally or as well in a physical copy?
Well, it's actually mainly a physical copy, a CD.
Wow, okay, so...
Yeah. The first 2 albums I will release on Beatport first.
Okay.
Actually, and only there.
Okay.
That's going to happen soon-ish. And then in August I will release the CD, and that coincides with the Midgardsplut, of course.
Oh, I see why they now everything got... So let's say that you are preparing, because we don't have the time to prepare for Midgardsplut and listen to your music, because we have to listen, but going to sleep, I don't know how, we can listen that at Midgardsplut, but we don't know how, because there is the bonfire, so...
Yeah, no, it's complicated.
Let's say that in our trip to getting home, let's say.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
No, it's mainly for to release the CD there. It's quite nice to have some extra for Midgardsplut and things like this. Of course, the albums are already out on Spotify and stuff like this.
Yeah. So.
But the CD version will have remastered and remixed versions, so it's going to be completely different sounds.
Okay.
For some of them, and it will be a bit different. And of course, it will come in a nice box.
Of course. I mean, we have
3 CDs,
and just because, of course, in all your music, just focusing a little bit about the music and let's say other beautiful, not only a musical project, but kind of that you are involved to. I want to ask about your personal musical journey, because I read something in the bio you said, and it's I'm stunned. I know about Folket, I know about a little bit playing with Maria Franz, but about you, I mean, your culture and your musical background, it's kind of unique. Really, it's
I think you're right there. I'm not a normal musician, really.
Yeah.
To be honest, I started very early as a kid, doing music, making music, playing. I started playing the flute when I was, I don't remember, maybe 6-7 years old. Although I stopped playing the flute as soon as we had the flute in school.
Yeah, because they have to,
because it was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah. So I stopped playing the flute until I was maybe 20 years old.
Okay.
And I played guitar since I was maybe 12, 13.
Yeah.
And I always did things my way, my own way. I didn't care so much about the conventional way of doing music. So I learned by myself on my own accord, and that also kind of there you can say that this has advantage and disadvantage in the same time. The advantage is that you're not bound by the rules of societal music. But the bad thing is that you might miss some basics and some technique and things like this. So you have to. So there's a constant balance there.
Yeah, waves.
And then my music career kind of took off the year 2000. That was when it really took off.
Wow.
Just before New Year 2000, I was asked by a friend to do a concert for her New Year's party. She was arranging a huge party with 100 people.
Oh, wow.
And she wanted to celebrate 2000 years.
Okay.
And she needed what she wanted was a Viking music concert.
Okay.
And she asked me, and I was like, Viking music? What is even that?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't really know, but okay, we can do something that could sound like
figure it out.
some Viking music. You know, it's like, oh yeah, okay, let's figure something out. Okay, I'll take the job.
Okay.
So I asked my friend Kjell Øyvind Bråten,
Okay.
who you might also recognize the name of, and one more person, Gunnar Brynjulfsrud, is not an active musician anymore.
Okay.
And we started talking a little bit, and it's like, yeah, but we need something more. We need something that boosts this music that we can do. We had some drums, and we were singing a little bit, and I was already then throat singing, so it was kind of, okay, let's use that, but we're missing something. And then I met my good friend Maria Franz at a concert.
Sure.
And I asked her, would you like, because I knew she was singing and she was also into Viking reenactment.
Okay.
So I was asking her, would you like to help us there and go to the concert, play the concert? And she was like, yay! And that's how we started the band Evas back in the days.
Back in the days.
And it was a complete surprise for us all. The concert went really nice, and it took 3 days after, and we had almost the whole summer booked with concerts. Even though we didn't even have a band name. You know, it was just one-off gig.
Yeah, that's when talented musician put together, people recognize it, and you're booked for, I mean, all the summer.
Yeah.
The best period of playing for market and festival. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to every possible market, you know, in Norway at that time, and it was a wild ride. You know, we were young, stupid, and drunk all the time. So,
but it was a beautiful journey. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically where it started. Evas, this band was. We stopped this project 2-3 years after that, because we wanted to go different directions and things like that. So.
It's not.
And that's when Skvalder came. That was Kjell Øyvind Bråten who started this, and after that Folkeboka for Nordavind, which Benny started. And I was never a member of the bands, but I was always playing with them.
He was pinpointing. Yeah, because you're creating music by yourself as a, I don't want to say Astralseid, but alias Gustav for a lot. So that's the core of your music. Of course, even I saw in this, not live yet, but I saw throughout the video, the stage, or sometimes what I like about the soul of people let's say, let's call it the Midgårdsblot family, because for people from outside, that's, for example, how we can recognize. But I want to say you because I know who you are, like you, Shell, Benny, Runahild, and so on. That you can always exchange. There's kind of always almost like a jamming throughout this market. That's the beauty of it. And even with randomly people, like even people that you don't know, you're always welcoming them. That's the thing that I like about you, because you make feel everyone as a member of like a family. That no one, I mean, it doesn't happen in every musical scene, unfortunately. And that's why Midgårdsblot is like, it's more than a family than a simple place to be. I
agree, and for me this is a very important kind of principle of life in general. Is to welcome everyone as who they are, and let people be who they are, and basically give people a chance to become a friend, or instead of being kind of skeptical to everyone from the beginning. I rather say, okay, but show me who you are, and then I can decide for me if this is something that could work as a friendship, or we just say hello and go our ways. And I think especially for music, it's very important to be all inclusive and to be welcoming, and to kind of. I think there's way too much competition, way too much jealousy, and and animosity towards each other. It's like, yeah, you like this style of music, but I don't, so I don't like you. And it's like, but why? What does that matter? You know?
I'm not that sound. I might listen it, but I am another human being. I mean, I'm not, for example, I like black metal, but I do not listen. I'm not robot, but it's kind of, I mean, because they put, is that what, unfortunately, Western society taught?
Yeah.
You are that, because you need to have a label. Why we have to have a label?
Yeah.
I mean, I can be just myself. I mean, and don't belong. I think the only thing that we have to give kind of let's say an answer, or just like to say, is the nature itself. Is that we have to be responsible. We belong to the nature. That's it, and the universe. That's where we belong. And in your music,
exactly,
there's a lot of it, a kind of recollection and recall. And of course, I mean, all this knowledge that you gain, where it comes from, because of course you can make your own studies, you can, traveling, like for example Shell did, traveling throughout places, you had some mentor, because it's a lot of knowledge that you have to put it in your music and yourself in the speech you do.
Yeah, no, it's been a very long ride, actually, when I see backwards on my musical journey, and which is very connected to my personal journey too.
Yeah.
So like you said, I had mentors, absolutely. Mainly, my first mentor has been myself, and then also my colleagues, my friends. I see kind of all people as mentors.
Yeah.
Because you can learn something from everyone.
Exactly.
You can even learn as an expert musician. You can learn from a beginner musician.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter there. And I did have a total of 3 years in India where I was studying with a guru, Ustad Fayaz Ali Khan, and he was a guru of this instrument you see behind here.
Yeah.
Let's see, I can. This
Yeah.
instrument here.
It's beautiful.
It is a sarangi,
Okay.
and it's a very special instrument, and that was very special for me, because I always struggled with normal school and authority. I have always struggled with authority. It's like, oh, if somebody comes to me and try to take authority over me, I just fuck off. I just say, no, I'm not gonna bother with it.
No. Yeah, I agree with that. I say every time, if you live in a country and you do not like where, for example, where you're living, you can go. You don't have to stay. You have to go, and that's why sometimes, like I said every time, I ended up to, like, guys, you are like living in the wilderness, but you have to just deal to yourself. You're the one you have to answer. Maybe parents, if they were still here or whatsoever, but no more than that. To us.
So it was very strange. It was very strange for me to study under a completely different culture, and the guru and guru student dynamics in India is very different from anything you have in the West, because the guru is all knowing. He is the boss of you as long as you're a student.
Yeah.
And I was first thinking this is not going to work, but in the end I kind of came to peace with it, and it's like, okay, I will give him this authority. And of course, it is also easy to give somebody authority when they are so skilled as they are. Because this guru, he had been playing music 10 hours every day his whole life.
So it's
really
talented, skilled musician.
The skill he has in music is kind of way beyond what I can ever achieve. Yeah. So then it's easy and it gave me so much for music, learning music and figuring music out for myself, because Indian music and Western music are also very different.
Yeah, that's
Indian classical music. It's mainly improvised.
Okay.
Everything it's about improvisation. It's about the musician taking a challenge, which is a melody or a scale, and transforming that every time the musician plays it. While in the West, you play the same concert every time. But if you do that in India, you're gonna
Yeah, because
Nobody's
like,
gonna come into your
yeah,
country.
if we see in in the biggest concert hall, theater hall, they have Vivaldi. I mean, beautiful music, nothing to
Yeah.
say. Vivaldi, Verdi, all these music, but it's they have the everything is written still today. They
Exactly,
have folk.
and to the exact, yeah,
Exactly.
everything is exact. You know,
Yeah.
in the Western classical music,
Yeah.
everything is planned. Everything
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
detailedly planned. But in the Indian music, it's kind of the complete opposite. It's improvisation. So you have to really learn
Yeah.
kind of the scale you're singing and the rules of that scale, or raga, which is called in India, and it's such a different principle. And they also don't write the music. You have to listen, and you have to learn it by heart, and then
That's
play it. So
that's a thing that we should sometimes, no, I don't want to say steal it, but take a look at being influenced by, because
yeah, absolutely.
but not even in music, as even if in life ourselves, when we are doing things, we are doing no, just let's take an interview. There are people that write question, and how are you, which is your favorite salad, things like that. We have to be influenced by, just be ourselves how we are, and maybe being influenced by something. And because of, I think as well, or let's say all the Oriental, let's say Eastern world has a lot that we have to take influence by. The medicine, that which is the basic of our Western, the medicine, the meditation, the way of living, the slower way of living. And maybe, I don't know, maybe because I am the south of Sicily, or maybe because you live in your own beautiful, it's a heaven, that's all the time. We have this kind of slower way of living. But if we see at center Europe, it's like running. This is not healthy, really. This is really not healthy for everyone, but it's not good.
I agree.
Here and for here, it's not good. But coming back to your music, just because, of course, it's 4 releases of the album. Of course, just digging into each album, let's say that it's all a journey. So, of course, there is changing. But your music is not only folk, like people can expect, let's say folk northern or folk eastern influence. You have as well the electronic part, which is beautiful. And now, thankfully, as well, Rural is using too, because it's beautiful to see this side. This wash is becoming wilder. I love her like that. And I mean, this always been a part of as well of your music. This synth, let's say, using.
Well, actually, that's also been a journey of itself.
Okay.
Because in my early days of music career, I was very, very dogmatic towards kind of electronic music. No, I was thinking, no, if I'm going to make music, it's going to be real instruments, it's going to be non-digital, and it's going to be acoustic and played live and things like this. And at some point around maybe 2015, maybe, I was thinking, listen, why did I make this rule for myself? Why am I restricting?
The rules.
Yeah, right. Why am I being dogmatic here? I've always been busy trying not to be dogmatic, but why am I being so dogmatic here? It's like, interesting. Maybe I should try to make some electronic music just to see. So I started basically just experimenting a little bit with it, and made a couple of songs, which are a part of the albums that's coming. So I started, and I found out, wow, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and you could suddenly do things that were very difficult doing acoustically. It could be very easy to achieve with electronic. And besides, I didn't have to rig up the whole studio, microphones and everything. I could just lay on the couch with a computer in my lap and make music. And sometimes that's also very nice.
I should buy a keyboard to do music like that, because it could be good things as well to releasing and writing music. Because I can understand carrying a tagalapa for me, or shamanic drum all the time with you, it's heavy, they're heavy. And going all around, So
it has its own demand, doing things acoustically, and of course, if you're gonna make a good album only acoustically, you need a good studio, good microphones, good instruments, and you need to be very good at playing. And you know, it's I'm not saying that electronic music is super easy to make. You still have to compose the music. You still have to take the decisions of how the music is going to be, and you still need a lot of skill and knowledge to make good electronic music.
Exactly. And
so
and because you're
it was with this electronic experiments, it's like it didn't take off at that point.
Yeah.
But when I met Runahild and we started to make things together, she was also a bit like, ooh, I want to make electronic music. And that's how the whole Astralseid project was started. It's like, okay, let's go for something.
So
let's have fun.
Yeah, because there's a lot of involvement as well. Because I mean, everyone can recognize when they hear your voice. I mean, come on, you know better than me. She has her whole voice. I mean, I don't know, because maybe I listen like endlessly. And one day I have wanted to hear about Wounded Healer. I tell her all the time. But there's a lot of this beautiful and exchange. It's you can perceive it. But I like your idea, like, because that's, correct me here if I'm wrong, about that you speak about, like, say, the meaning of your music, this kind of connection about cosmos and nature. It's something that people from the Western society always forget. We always forget about that. We just walk and do our things in the city, in the whatsoever. We go in the nature. For example, today they're having barbecue. Imagine what trash there will be there tomorrow. I don't want to think about it. So we forget the connection. We look at the sky. So I would like to ask about your point of view about that, because hearing from you is always beautiful than hearing from even myself sometimes.
Yeah, no, but absolutely, there's for me a very strong connection between nature, music, spirituality, and our connections with these things.
Yeah,
it's always been a very deep part of me. I've always been a nature lover. When I was a kid, my friends were watching cartoons, but I was watching, David Attenborough nature movies. You know, my friends were usually in the playground made by humans. I was playing in the woods with the trees, climbing trees, and all these things. So this has always been a very natural part of me as a person, and of course, it did absolutely help going into Viking music and reenactment, and this kind of style of music, which is also very connected to both our past but also our present and nature. It's more natural in a way.
Yeah.
And what I want with the music is to bring this out, my feeling of this connection.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this out and make music that people can listen to, and by listening reconnect with themselves and reconnect with nature, reconnect with the universe itself, because it's all connected anyway.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not that we are disconnected, it's just that we have forgotten that we are connected.
So let's say that with your music, you want to bring awareness about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes for kind of what I write about the music, the text I have inside the music. And what I kind of imagine is that my people can use my music either for meditation, for dancing.
Because there's as well something about that you release made on purpose for meditation, like for a shamanic journey, meditation journey, and that's apart from the album that you're releasing. It's another, let's say, concept, something that people can find that as well online on the streaming platform. Because, for example, when I do my shamanic practices or meditation, that's important to have it, because we do so fast that we have to chill, to release. So you even compose that. So
Yes.
It's important to have it.
No, but I think it's very important, especially the time we're living now, where we there is so much conflict. There's so much, the forgetting of the connection, and I think
Yeah.
seriously, humanity needs to change,
Yeah.
and I can't run around forcing people to change.
No.
But what I can do is to show how I live my life, and to share my connection with the universe and nature, and that's basically all I can do. I can do my best and hope that people get inspired by this, and
Yes.
maybe jump on the wagon and join this journey, which is anyway an individual journey. You have to find out how you want to connect.
Yeah, you're giving us,
and so goes for everyone.
let's say that you're giving us a tool, how to do it, and then we have to find how to use this tool for ourselves, different ways, and just decide if we want to follow it. But we have to follow it out alone, and this can be made with this release that will be on the 14th of August, for example, this journey. And but you mentioned, of course, if you want, what we can say about 2 singles that has to be released, new single, we can say. It's up to you if you want to spoil too much. I don't know if I can say the title. So
yeah, no, we can talk about it. It's not such a big secret. So
it's Frozen Time and Hundreds Colors. So what about this? Because it's new music, it's new artwork. So you're planning on releasing them one by one, like singularly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The plan is I haven't decided 100% on the dates yet, but it will be before the album comes out. So it's gonna be 1 month, 2 months time.
Yeah.
And these songs are maybe gonna be a part of the next album.
Okay.
But most likely, and I can talk a little bit about the songs. It's 100 Colors is because on that song you can hear the sarangi, which I studied in India. So this instrument that I have here, and it's called sarangi, and one theory is that it means so rang, which means 100 colors in Hindi.
Okay.
So it is basically a kind of an ode to the sarangi itself, but it's also about diversity. Diversity is what has always been important to me, and for me, diversity means development and change. You know, if you meet people who are different from yourself, you can learn new things and you can expand your own mind.
Exactly. You can improve. You can you have this open consciousness, because one thing that I think even the biggest master in the world is, they say that we never stop to learn. We always learning from people we met, even just someone that it's I don't know, in elevator, walking the street, sometimes someone that you are watching, I don't know, on some videos, musician that we're seeing, painters. Even if I'm not a painter, I do not paint, I see something and maybe that thing's gonna change me. We're always gonna learn. I don't know, maybe I can be a painter too. Everything's gonna change. That's important. We never stop to learn. So, and we have to as well, not accept, but we have to let these different changes from people, different, like you mentioned, let's say different, all these shade of colors, hundreds of colors of people that can have, but because it's not about ethnicity, it's about the face it. I think for how I'm seeing my soul, this is my side of my point of view. I feel like hundreds of color, like how the shades of our character, our human being. So all the people that we just meet and we will meet.
Yeah.
Just stay.
Exactly.
And accept and learn. And maybe they can learn from us as well. So this is gonna be really a beautiful song, especially for the instrument that you involved.
Yeah. No, so that's the 100 colors. It's it's about diversity and can we stop seeing things black and white and see all the shades, all the different colors, and love them for what they are. So that's kind of for the Frozen Time song. I don't have such depth in that sense. It's more gonna be a part of a bigger story, kind of, which will be the next album.
Okay, so that's kind of that maybe 100 Colors is kind of a story itself. Frozen Time is gonna help like kind of the gates or just the door for the concept, the story of the animals. Okay, so at least people can know how to read and feel it. This and
exactly.
And what I like about as well the music that you're doing is that you do not have, like I said, boundaries. You're gonna you explore everything. Tomorrow you can find out, I don't know, some instrument from Sicily, for example, and say, oh, you know, it's cool, I like it, it's giving me some energy, and you put it there. Because when we go throughout, you know, this stigma, electronic music, and then there is folk, this Viking music that I still have to find out which is Viking music, but by the way, let's say, it's all stigmatized, and this, you like did Runa, you like the Dire Nitland, they broke this stigma, putting all together.
Yeah.
And it's important because people, especially who listen folk music, it has to be folk or folk metal. It can be.
Yeah. Exactly. And it just becomes a dogmatic limit on yourself, basically. Exactly. You know.
I mean, I can even just listen only electro or ecstatic without folk, or maybe only that. It doesn't matter. It's you. It's Gustav at the core. It's me in the core. It's Runahild in the core. It's us. And that's why I think
exactly.
I don't know. Maybe like one day you will always do an electronic music disco. My dad called disco, like I said, LP. Or Runa says, okay, I'm gonna do only electronic, but that core and the people that can feel it, your energies, they will perceive it always your soul. But that is for any musician, any artist in the world. It's the change that people don't do, they should accept. Or just there are no boundaries. We are free.
Exactly.
We are free human beings. We are in the free will. And one thing that for me really, it's I think it's new. And like I was saying, people sometimes ask me how this astral synergy production, how does it work? I want to ask you first how it started. I mean, and how you ended up with this let's say production, because now you're a producer, so.
Yeah, no, it's kind of, it started when me and Runahild started the Astralseid project.
Okay.
We needed kind of a label.
Yeah.
And we just came up with the Astral Synergy Productions. That sounds good with Astralseid, you know. So in the beginning it was just a loose word. It was just something that was hanging loosely in the sky.
Yeah.
And then we were always thinking of, okay, should we start our own label, or should we what should we do here? Because we have been struggling with labels and how they treat artists, and in general how the music industry treats artists. It's to be honest, not so good. So we were constantly talking about this, discussing how would we do it, what can we do, what shouldn't we do. And we have definitely learned from our experiences with labels what we really don't want to do.
Okay, that's a start.
Yeah. and one of the things we kind of struggle most with is the rights, signing off your rights to someone else. You create something and then you basically give it away to someone to Of course it's necessary to sign a label. You have to give away your rights, so they can sell your music, and of course you get a small cut from that.
Yeah, of course.
And we were thinking it's like, no, we need to do something different here. And of course we live in a time where it is increasingly more easy for an artist to self-release without a label.
Yeah.
You know, anyone can sign up for DistroKid or CD Baby or whatever and upload music to Spotify. But that doesn't mean that your music is going to be listened to or be good.
Yeah.
So we're discussing this a lot for actually years before we did something about it. And then I built my new studio, which I'm sitting in now.
Okay.
And that's when we realized, okay, but this studio here is bigger than us. Kind of, this is somewhere where we can actually take in artists, we can do recordings, we can do production, and things like this. And of course, as a musician, it's good to have several ways of income.
Yeah.
And several jobs, kind of, and it's absolutely good if these jobs can kind of become one.
Yeah. This is really important. Yeah.
And that's the point where we kind of at least decided to okay, let's start Astral Synergy Productions as something deadly serious and really work with it. And because of all our talks and discussions, we had a platform of where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. So instead of becoming just another label, we would focus on, of course, production of music itself, and then supporting those artists who do their production with us, support them to self-release.
Yeah.
So that this means we help our artists with the uploads, of course, and all the forms you have to fill, and all the places you have to register your music, and it is a job of itself. All of that, to do it correctly, to do it right, and to make sure always that the artists have the rights to their music, no matter what. So instead of kind of taking the rights, taking all the money and giving a small cut to the artist, we basically charge for the job we do.
Yeah.
Right? And the artists we discuss with the artists how they are willing to pay this. They can pay this back by percentages of the revenue, or they can pay it like one-time fee for the production and everything. And this is something we always discuss with the artists and keep it kind of not inside a box. This is the deal, but okay, how do you want the deal to be? How do you want to work? How are we going to do this together?
Finding together a compromise.
Yeah. Simply like that. So it is a very different way of thinking.
Yeah.
Like we work like a label, but we're not a label.
Exactly.
So we're more anti-label.
I mean, because like basically what you're doing, because in the music business, because let's call it like that, people do not tend. I know that it's not easy, especially for the emergent, the new musician going out. That depends as well with type of music they are doing. If you get signed, maybe because they found overwhelmed, by everything, and then they have to hire a PR, and then they have to hire a booking agency, and then because not all the label provides that, not completely.
Exactly.
And then there is the label that can take part of your income. There is the booking agent. There is the PR that, for me, I am sorry, but it's the one maybe of the worst. I don't know. It doesn't have any sense. These things of PR, because you can do it even with your friends for free. And I saw invoices of PR, which is like, with that I could even do it by myself. The band could do even more. But it's because of the overwhelming the platform. You have to be always updating, uploading.
Exactly.
And so when you just step back, because a lot of bands that even were, just let's say bigger in the, for example, they just stopped for being in the label, and because they now have the money, they create their own label, of course. But this is always different as well from Astral Synergy Production, because you did it even before starting to be signed, because you saw, maybe, I don't know, throughout your experience, mutual friends, that this is not what you wanted to do, and you built it, because like you said, it's a place where basically you both of you are put your own studio, your recording studio, because you record, you produce, you did everything there, and it's not, and then you put out the music, so it's everything that label, PR, agency does in one thing. So it's
Exactly.
it's harder to, I suppose, for you just being in touch with all this. But for the musician, it's kind of easier, because they don't have to take away their own identity, which many labels do. They don't have to say, to wait for the release. How many times I asked to a musician, which is the next release? I don't know. The label knows that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, and that's also one of the most important principles we have is the integrity of the musician, the artistic integrity. That we're not sitting there deciding, when it's going to be released, how it's going to release, how the cover is going to be. No, this is, this is up to the artist. Yeah. And if, of course, they want us to make the cover, we will do that. And I have my brother who is very good graphic designer, and he can do this job. We have also Wesley Wolven in the United States, who works as a PR agent for us, and who is also going to be an artist with us. And there's a lot of possibilities where we have a great network of people who can help you make the product you want.
Exactly. Without I'm trying to say this word, but it's true, without scamming you, you, because that's what it's happening in the music.
Basically, the music business is it's tricky. To be honest, it's rotten. And it's very hard, especially if you're starting as a new musician now and you want to make a name for yourself. The competition is so fierce. It's so hard to get people to press the play button and to press it again and again. But it's extremely hard. The competition on social media is hard. The competition on Spotify is hard. On YouTube is hard. Even and
physical copy.
And of course they're paying shit, the streaming services.
It's something that is it's happening because, before it was for rock music, it was for metal music, alternative. Now it's for folk music. It's a competitive, but there is a little bit of a difference somehow, somewhere. That's not everywhere. That it's kind of more like we look up after each other. That's what people do not see and think. That in the folk genre, same genre music can be any type of folk, there is always someone looking for each other, even if it's some musician, spread it. I met this girl. She's from Canada. She's just playing off flute. That's all she's doing. She's called Amber Belladonna. She's beautiful, amazing. She's talented, really good-hearted. And when I told her, why don't you try to do something in Europe? Maybe just come for an edition of Magersplot. She's like, oh, maybe I'm not too fit for that. I'm not too good. I'm not, because she could feel, judged. And I said, that's not the people. Maybe in United States, maybe, I don't know, whatsoever, in our small world. But this talented musician that came from different places in the world, they can just simply, for example, even reach someone of you, just ask her for an opinion. I think you will be there gladly to say, look, we're here. If you want to take a trip, come and you'll see with your own eyes. That's the beauty of it, because being a folk music is beautiful, no matter which type. It can be even folkloristic from one country, like the classic old music. But now there is so many bands you don't almost recognize which is, really, you feel that the spirituality in that. Sometimes it's just made for fashion, let's say, but between them, the newest one, there is always that you can feel and you can see, and maybe that person is struggling to move because they don't know no one. And that's when people like you or Brunei or anyone just jump into the scene like, we're here. So that's one thing that Astral Synergy production is you can say it's kind of the spiritual heart of the, let's say, the spiritual heart of the label, we can call it.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, like the way you produce, because of course you are a musician, you've been learning a lot throughout traveling in culture. But as let's say producer, even if it's too westernized word, but let's call it like that to let people understand. How would you see the main difference as being a musician yourself?
Well, as a producer, I see that my job is to bring out what's inside of the artist. Okay. My job is to take kind of to help the artist to get the artistry out and to deliver this to the world. So it's a job that has many jobs inside it. It's like I'm constantly changing hat from being a nice supporting friend to the strict kind of producer who needs to say that, yeah, but you have to take a choice. And it's firstly about, like I said, bring what the artist has inside and bring the dream out and make it real, to be the supportive power that holds space for the artist to create. That's the most important part. And then of course there's a lot of other things, because as a producer you keep track of all the parts of making music. From you are part of the process from the composition part of the process, recording part, mixing, mastering, and releasing, and all this is part of the producer's kind of domain, or the, I'm keeping the overview. I'm kind of soaring like an eagle, keeping track of everything, making sure that things are actually where they should be, and that things are flowing. And if the artist struggles with something, I can give advice or not. It's a lot of different ways of doing it. But so being a self producer, like I've been for myself with Astralseid, I'm producing for myself. It's completely different from producing for others. Of course. Because when you're just yourself, you have everything in your mind anyway. So but it is, and I guess not all artists are not all artists have the quality of being their own producer either. No. Sometimes they need people to keep track of things, keep the big picture in mind. This overview, and to work with that, and to push a little bit where it needs pushing, pull where it needs pulling, and lift where you need lifting, and
always working in a studio recording is always like different when you have to send back and forth those, for example, MP3 file to people afar, and then you have to mastering throughout just a laptop, maybe in someone is different. It's
it is
much, because today is, I think, what we are seeing is with all these artificial intelligence and whatsoever, which can be used in a good way, of course, can be used.
Absolutely.
But it's not, at least now, using for a good way, because you're seeing a lot of job taken away from artists, musical video director, even just that. Because for me, I don't find the beauty to see a video clip in AI. There's nothing real. You have to feel it. Where I feel the energy, where I see the musician. Because if I have to see something, I say, for example, the Runahill music video, you can perceive really her soul, herself, what she's going through in that moment, the music. And then you ask, how you do? I recorded. Okay, that's it. So people can do it even by themselves, for example. But sometimes we want the things easy and for free. But you know what? There are people that are asking money for this video AI, which for me is a scamming. You can do it yourself.
I agree. And to be honest, I'm I'm amazed of how good a tool AI is.
Yes, it is.
And I actually, in the studio, I use it daily,
Yeah.
but
Well done.
not to make content.
Exactly.
It's not the content is entirely from humans, but it's a tool that it's, let's say, for example, in mastering, I use the AI to analyze the sound to make sure that it translates well on all speakers.
Exactly.
And this is a job that the AI can do
Perfect.
basically, not perfectly, but much better than the human ear, because even though I have very good speakers and a very good system and nice sound in the studio, it's not gonna be perfect. So
you need
and in mastering, you really need to make sure that it sounds good on your phone, it sounds good in your car, it sounds good on your stereo at home, you know, and there AI can give analyze it, give me an idea of where it is, what I maybe should look more at, but I'm not having the AI master the music.
Exactly.
But you can now, if you, even if you sign up for, let's say, DistroKid or something, you can upload a mix and ask an AI to master your music.
Yeah, but I mean,
and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and like I said, if it's a good tool, for example, I'm running out of ideas and I'm a writer and I need some thought.
Yeah.
I'm just typing for a script, just to have a start.
Yeah.
That's okay, I can have a start. Or if I'm having, when you have so many thoughts in your mind and you need to be having something clear, I'm just writing those things down and to have kind of a, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this point to do, like a kind of list to do. That could be used for, like, let's say, personal use.
Yeah.
Just for in your space. But when it goes outside and when you have all these, I don't want to say fake, but kinda too much electric, too much. I don't know if it because we are like for this kind of, I don't want to say raw sound, but more grounded into what is the soil, real soil, and because the work of a producer when you record yourself is in a room. You are not like going or sending files throughout the world. Maybe it can be, but it happens there. It happens in a room, like every producer I used to be. But with the difference that you have all the spirituality, all the energies of the nature. This is not to underestimate. This is not to underestimate, because you have these energies surrounding you, and the place that you guys are, it's really in heaven. You have all these beautiful.
I know we are very lucky having the place we have. The studio is kind of, it's also built like a Viking hall almost. And we have so much nature around us. We live on a farm, so we grow our own food here. And anyone who comes here to produce music, they get as part of the whole production. They get to stay here, they get to sleep here, and we serve food from the farm, and we give them space to
create,
where they can be a bit outside the normal world.
We're let's say kind of
it's like a retreat at the same time as you're producing. And this mixed with the technology, it's amazing mix, I think. It's you have the beauty of the ancient world, so to speak, at the same time as we have absolute modern technology in the studio. So
of course,
so it's like
that has to be clear, because people might think, okay, they are in the nature, maybe they are using old way of, no. It doesn't mean that if you are in there, because sometimes people like, you live in the farm, you live in the countryside, so you still might going out in a cow, no, like with a no, it doesn't mean that. We are in the countryside whatsoever, but it's not that. We are embracing and see that what today is offering, because we have to take as well, because let's say that the technology give us a lot of good ideas and good way to do everything in the world. So producing with you for these new artists, I don't want to say bands, I say artists because kids in general, it's as well, can always well to just do their music, but let's say have these finding even themselves, for example.
Exactly. That's part of the point. That's part of the production itself, is to kind of give them opportunity to discover things with themselves, inside themselves. Both me and Runail have been doing a lot of courses with our good friend Lasse Ström and Victoria
amazing
in Sweden.
With
where we're doing courses in how to use singing and drumming spiritually. And this we try to incorporate into the way we produce here. So it is a very different experience, I guess, from a normal studio too, because the whole experience is it's a whole package. It's a whole package of things. It's not just come to the studio, record, run away. We also charge much less than normal studios. We have a going rate that's some of the big studios charge by hour what we charge by day, and we charge only by day. So it gives more time.
It gives a rush.
More. It's not a rush. You have more time. You have more. You can focus more in a different way, and all these things around it makes it into a whole experience of producing.
And that's because it gives as well like this kind of building this connection with you and Runail too. So even with you, the producer, because if it's just like the hour thing, you just do 1-2 hours and then you go back. Having the whole days gives as well, and if you have this kind of connection with the producer, the work is gonna come out better because they're gonna trust you more about the work. You're can express better what you're thinking. There's gonna be an exchange, and the sound is better. The outcome is better in any way. And of course, come on, who doesn't want to be producer music? I don't know, an AP or something in the nature, waking up because I think this could be the best healthy way because it's it's healthy. It's sustainable as well. So it's important.
Exactly. And that's important things to kind of show the world that it's possible to do things sustainably. You can be high tech and old tech at the same time. You can live with nature instead of against it, and still kind of do what you want. And it's kind of it's a whole a whole package with a whole philosophy and with deep principles deeply rooted in nature itself. Instead of exploitation and growth. There's so much talk about growth, economical growth, blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, can we stop this? we need to stop this train. It's going too fast.
Because people even when you just said I'm gonna like this most granted things like I'm gonna go to have a house in the nature, grow my own food, have my own animals. I mean, people look at you, how are you supposed to eat? How do you do with mine? I mean, I don't have a job 9 to 5 in the city if I'm not happy about it, if I don't feel good, because then our parents did it, our grandparents did it, all the people before us did it. They survived. The last healthy generation, at least in Western society, it's our grandfather, which they lived in the nature. They build their own houses. My grandfather built a house itself here, and I see today people not even knowing. For example, in Sicily, they don't know we have rivers, lakes, mountains. I say, you just open a Google Maps and you see it. So when I post a photo or something, people say, "Oh, where are you? You are, I don't know, in Switzerland." No, I'm 1 hour from here. You have just to open. Every places can be beautiful in the world. All the world is beautiful. All the world has sacred places, because sacred places is what is sacred for you. So you just have to go there and explore. And especially here we have so many, abandoned houses that you can take it and rebuild it for yourself, and you can just live there. what do you need? Cow? I mean, we have plenty of, Sicily is a farmland. So
Yeah.
we grew up like that. So just go and live it. And people think that I'm weird, the weird one. But because it's attached too much in the Western society. But as well, like
Exactly.
coming back to Astralseid and not going too much further, Israel already produced a little bit of artists. And there is one that you mentioned that we talked a little bit about Johnny X. So
Yeah.
of course, there is a kind of good flow of artists being produced by you. Just if you want to mention some artists that you produce already.
Yeah. Now we can talk a little bit about the artists we're working with currently. It's our main focus right now is Johnny Hex.
Yeah.
They're gonna release an album. We set the date yesterday actually, so it's gonna come the 17th of May.
Okay. I have to get.
And that's gonna be Johnny Hex debut album.
Okay.
They have 4 singles out produced here, and then now we're gonna release the album. And it's a kind of a funny story because we met at Midgardsblot, of course.
Of course.
It was after one of the concerts I had there, or storytelling sessions. I don't remember what situation it was. I was approached by this person, and it's like very quiet and a bit nervous person saying, "Oh, I want to live my life like you." And it's like, okay, no, you have to live your life like you.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit, and I figured out, okay, this is an artist, this is a musician. Okay, cool, yeah. I liked the person, a very nice person, and so I told them, okay, why don't you? And this was all in the beginning of Astral Synergy Productions, before we actually kind of presented it for the world. So it was completely in the beginning there, and I said, just okay, but here's what to do. When you get home, you contact me on Facebook or email, anything, and you send me some of your songs.
Okay.
I want to listen. Okay. And I listened. I got the files after not so long, and I got the files, and I listened, and it's like, wow. Okay, the mix wasn't very good. The sound itself wasn't super good, but I can hear that this is music coming from
the heart,
from the deep of their soul. This is something that's real artistry. It is real, and they mean it. It's something that really comes out in it. It's like, wow, I really want to produce this. So I contacted them. We had a talk. We exchanged ideas and thoughts, and then decided, okay, let's go for it. So
that was one.
It was kind of and we have been working on this album for now 1.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been quite a ride, and I can say that there will be more albums because they have already concepts and sketches and ideas for at least 2-3 more albums.
That's good. I'm gonna ask them as soon as up if I'm gonna be able to settle an interview as well.
Yes, no problem at all. That's gonna be fine. Yeah. So, and that's our main focus right now, and we have also we have Jacob Roots. It's a very nice singer-songwriter. He has kind of a multicultural background, being both Norwegian and Jamaican.
Okay.
And that comes also through in the music. And it's really, really nice, beautiful, also deep and spiritual. And Jacob Roots also has a band called Rotbror, which means the brother of roots.
Yeah.
And so we're producing for that band, and there's coming more bands now this summer. One called Rosenrot. It's another root. There's a lot of root stuff here.
There's a woods around you. So.
Yeah. And Rosenrot is a female band. It's particularly 4 women who makes kind of definitely their own style of music, acoustic. Okay. That's going to be very exciting working with that. And then we also have something really special coming eventually.
Okay.
And there's an artist we started working with, which is called Sindri. Sindri, and he is an amazing singer-songwriter.
Okay.
He plays the guitar, sings, but he does it in a completely different way from what I've usually seen.
Okay.
It has a lot of rock and roll in it. It has a little bit punk in it. It has soul and depth. And to be honest, he's probably the best guitarist I ever recorded, ever worked with. He is insanely good.
Just send me
playing guitar.
Send me all this musician. I'm from my review them. I got good vibes and you know, spirituality. I need that. And you think what one I want to ask you as last. Of course, I think there will be the chance to see you this summer, Megasbrot. I think it's a granted, like it's a yes.
Yes.
So definitely there's gonna be the chance to see you. It's gonna be there like you performing, like, because I already saw Runahild and Astralseid, so there's something that you can be preparing for us as a special.
Oh yes, we are preparing an awesome show for the big stage this year. So it's gonna be it's gonna be amazing. So we have a prime spot, and it's gonna be super cool.
And of course, there is the first the ritual, the beginning. Of course, everyone is there.
The opening blood,
the opening blood, and as well maybe in the other stage with the playing here and there, jamming through all around.
As usual, I'll most likely jam around with other bands. I will also have my own storytelling sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's gonna be, and we do actually have some more goodies planned.
Okay.
But that we'll have to wait until it's announced by Midgårdsblot. So
okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's I have that this year to be. I have the hotel booked, so it's there since 1 year booked. So it's in Borre, so it's in Borre. It's not lost. I'm there, so it's booked. I'm trying to do my best to be there because I'm still waiting. And I, like everyone said to me, come to the Midgårdsblot, but without any armories. Just be you. Left everything at your place. That's all the time what people say to me. So, because I know once I'm back, you know, I'm gonna be another person, like, and still is inside. That will be more. And what can I say, Gustav? Just first of things, like, you know what I'm gonna say? Runahild for me. Because I always, and I'm really glad for both of you guys for all these amazing things you're doing in music and this beautiful exchange there is both of you, because we need more people should be in the world, and I think they are, but put it, you know, they're like you and her, because it's really pure soul, genuine soul, and it's just you. There's no mask, it's you. I really always want to say that, and you know what I mean, that I really mean it, because there's no other people in the world like you and Runahild. That I mean, I call her all the time. She's my moon sister for a reason, because she's a part in she has a special place in my heart, like the first. And because your music, it's healing, helped me through a lot, and I think a lot of people in this world too. So I'm gonna listen to your music now, because I have to make a journey with the car. So, you know, I'm gonna throw out with the journey in the car.
Perfect.
And see you hopefully really at Midgårdsblot, Gustav. And wish you all the best always, and enjoy your beautiful heaven there.
Thank you, same. Thank you
so much.
See you soon.
Yes, and thank you for the interview. It was really a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. It was a real pleasure talking to you. Okay, bye.